Welcome, and thank you for joining Impacting Leaders e-training for today's course on how to receive a performance review. Your instructor for this course is Linda Sasser, CEO of Impacting Leaders. In today's course, we're talking about performance reviews. Do you look forward to performance reviews, or do you dread them? Much of how we feel about performance reviews has to do with our own mindset, how we view them, and if we find value in them. So let's get ready to learn more about how to receive a performance review.
Today we're going to have some fun talking about something I bet perhaps no one's ever spoken to you about, which is how do you receive a performance review? We talk a lot to our leaders about how to give an effective performance review, but today we're going to talk to you about how do you receive it. And most people have undergone a review at some sort of time. And I've found that I have my favorite employees that I love to review. And so I've really taken some time to carve out why is it that some reviews go very well and why is it that some of them are more difficult. And I've come to realize that when the review is a two-way street, they tend to go much better. And it's when the receiver has some things going on, some characteristics that help us have a safe environment. That's when the reviews go best. So we're going to talk about that today so that you can help your leader, your supervisor, have an effective review with you. So it's valuable to you and your performance. Now, my favorite thing to do is kind of look at this in an opposite way. Let's look at the mishaps of reviews. Where do we go wrong when we're receiving a review? One area is expecting an excellent rating. Now, let me put this out there. I have not met a perfect employee. And now I haven't met a perfect leader either. So we'll be fair. But if you're expecting an excellent review, you might have your expectations set way, way, way too high. A review is designed to not only tell you where you're doing very well, but it's also designed to help you improve in areas where you need some improvements. And we all have areas of improvements. If, for some reason, your supervisor gives you a perfect performance review, then that's not a good thing. And I think we need to take it as a not so good thing. Because what's going to happen is you're not going to see areas of improvement for yourself. Therefore, you probably won't get any better than you are today. What makes us better than we are today are leaders who are willing to tell us where we need to improve. So if you're one of the crazy, perfect employees out there and you get a perfect review, I want you to ask your supervisor, you know what? I don't want to be perfect. I want to grow. Please tell me and give me 3 areas where I need to get better. It may be that you need to open up the safe environment. Perhaps your leader doesn't feel safe and doesn't want to hurt your feelings. And so they're kind of messed up on how they give reviews. So help make that atmosphere very safe. Another mishap is taking it personally. Now, let's say your leader does play into your growth and they give you areas and opportunities to improve. And then all of a sudden you're starting to take things personally. Well, that's hard not to do. I realize that because we all want to do well. And we do take things personally. We can't help it. But do your best to understand that these are solid areas to help you perform better. Grasp those things and even figure out, okay, how can I execute on that? How could I actually do better? And if you're not sure, ask your leader. Oh my goodness, the mishap of arguing and debating. I tell you what, this one won't do anything but get you in trouble. Because to argue with your leader on where they see your weaknesses is probably a perception situation. Their perception of you is that you have an area of weakness. And to debate that in a harsh way or to argue with it probably won't get you very far. Now, let's say you disagree with it and you really think, I cannot believe that's out in left field. Perhaps your leader really doesn't know how to grade you in that area because they're not around you. That's fair enough. But approach this in a way that will let your leader explain their score or explain their reasoning. And listen to them. Don't be defensive. Don't try to argue with it. not being honest with your leader, or holding back. If your review gives you an opportunity to play into your leader's area of growth, which many do, then make sure that you don't hold back there. Now, don't pounce and don't have too much fun with this. Of course, just like all teammates, all leaders, and all supervisors aren't perfect either. And sometimes you'll have a supervisor who says, "How can I improve? How can I serve you better?" Well, don't hold back in those areas. Let them know what you're struggling with. And just tell them, I'm really struggling in this area. And I feel like if I had better coaching from you on how to perform in this area, that I could do better. So let your leader hear what you have in mind. And you know what? Do that in a caring way. Don't do it in a pressured way. And the mishap of viewing your review as all about you. It is all about you and areas to improve. But here's the thing. You've got to take on and you've got to own these areas of improvement, or own the areas that you're so talented in and gifted in. If you're talented and gifted in some areas, then make sure you spread that and help other teammates with those things. Now, if there's some areas of weakness that you need to perform on, and if you've been with your supervisor or with this company for more than 2 years so that you have a performance review that you've had before, go back and look at those notes and see if you've improved in those areas. Because the whole point of sitting down and reviewing your performance is for you to get better, not just to fill out paperwork. And not for sure to see this as a way of making more money. So keep in mind, if your performance reviews are connected to merit increases, make sure you hold that at bay just a minute. Don't think about money. Think about growth. I would suggest, if you have been with your company for a while and you've received reviews from this supervisor before, pull that out and look at it quarterly and work on those areas of improvements and document and write on there things that you've done that you feel like where you've overcome some of those areas, and bring that with you to your review so that you all can talk and discuss those areas. Okay, well, that's the mishaps. Now let's get to the good stuff. Let's go over some tips. We've got 5 tips for you today on how to be a better receiver of your performance review. 1, be open-minded and listen. Don't be defensive or emotional about anything. Be frank and be clear, but don't be overly emotional. This is where we talk about making it safe for your leader to tell you everything that you need to ask. Now, it doesn't mean you can't speak to something. I would encourage you to ask for clarity. One of the things we like to talk to supervisors and leaders about is make sure that you're clear and give illustrations and examples of what you like and what you don't like. So if you're not clear on something, make sure you ask for that clarity and ask for an example. The way you ask is very important. So you can say, Linda, I know you graded me low in that, and I want to make sure I improve in that area. Can we talk about examples so that I can really focus on how to get better in this area? That is a great way to ask a question. That does 2 things. Number 1, you're going to get an idea of what your leader's looking for. And number 2, your leader will love, love, love hearing you say that, because it tells your leader that you're going to own this and that you're going to get better. And what it also does is it excites your leader to want to help you more. And they'll show you and they'll recognize when you are improving. So now both people are excited about that area of improvement. Our second tip is spend some time on your review beforehand. If you've got a document that you get to fill out, make sure you spend some quiet time filling out that document yourself. Give yourself a performance review. How do you rank yourself? How would you grade yourself in those areas that you know your leader is going to be reviewing? Now, if you don't have an official review and it's just a time that you're going to sit down with your supervisor, that's okay too. Spend some time thinking through where your strengths are, where your talents and gifts are, and then where you think you should improve. And make sure you put something on that list. Again, where can you improve? And try to think about yourself and be self-aware of those areas. Be willing to lead up. Now, we didn't say boss up, and we didn't say be critical up, and we didn't say complain up. We said lead up. Hopefully your leader will make this safe for you to do, but hopefully you're willing also to play into your leader's growth, as we said earlier, in the mishaps. It is a mishap when someone in one of my reviews doesn't help me get better. And sometimes that's awkward, and sometimes it's uncomfortable for both the leader and the follower. Hopefully you've seen ways that your leader can get better. And maybe it's just a way that you let them know what's going on the floor. Perhaps you have some information that would help them be a better leader for the conditions of the environment right now. Now, I'm not talking about tattling on Mary Jo who comes in late every day, and if you could stand by the door and then call her out when she comes in late. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about helping your leader be better because of what's going on right now in the culture of the company. Perhaps morale is low, and you can say, you know what? People are kind of low right now. We know sales of the company is low, and we're all kind of scared that we're going to have a layoff or something. Maybe you could do some things that could encourage the group as a whole. Could we have a fun day? Could we have a chili cook-off? Could we? Help your leader be better at how to lead and inspire the team. Tip number 4, embrace the opportunity to grow. You know, performance reviews are in place for one reason: to make sure that both the leader and the follower concentrate on how to improve in performance. And not just for the betterment, for you to be better productive or for you to have more results so that the company makes more money. Not for that reason, but for the reason that you can just get better and that you can grow, both in perhaps your performance, your production, and your results. Of course, it's about that, but it's also about your attitude. How is your attitude? What kind of teammate are you? How's your character and integrity? And how do you influence others? All those things we want to talk about so you can get better. And if you have a leader, if you're lucky enough to have a leader or supervisor who's willing to really pour into you and to be open and honest with you, and if you're the kind of person who receives that well, you're going to become a better person, whether it's for the company that you're working for now or for another one. You're continually growing through your journey as an employee. No matter where you go, anyone that comes into your life, help them help you be better by listening and being open-minded. And our 5th tip is, don't focus on your salary. Now is not the right time to ask for a raise. Now is not the right time to be worried about, are we going to get a percentage of merit increase? Now is not the time for that. The time is about improving on your performance and being better. If you're better at what you do and you bring more value to your leader, the money will follow. Sometimes when we set up reviews to be connected to merit increases, we get everything all out of whack. All we're thinking about is, I need a high score so I can get a bigger raise. And what will happen is you'll put too much focus on that score and not enough focus on your improvement. And then if we don't get a certain score or a certain number, then we're bummed. And we forgot about everything our leader said about what was good about our performance and about where we can improve on our performance. So if you're in an environment that connects pay with annual performance reviews, do your best to try to separate those. Concentrate on your performance and how you can do better. Life is not about a point system. Life is about growth. You know, I hope you are currently with a leader or a supervisor who's willing to pour into your growth. Whether it's with an official annual performance review or a quarterly review, whether it's on paper or online, or maybe just a casual sit-down conversation. I hope you have that person in your life at work that helps make you better. If you don't, then ask for it. There's nothing wrong with that. Ask your leader or your supervisor, hey, can I have some time with you? I want to kind of talk to you and have a discussion about how I can get better. Will you have a performance review with me? And then Listen to all the tips that we've just talked about and discussed. Make it safe for your leader to play into your growth. And I don't think you'll be sorry for it. I think you'll be excited about your area of growth. You know, some of my best leaders who now lead the organizations that I'm with were people who just received performance reviews really well, whether they were official or non-official. They were hungry for growth, and they were hungry to hear things that they could improve on because they knew they weren't the perfect employee. And they helped me grow because they knew I wasn't the perfect supervisor. I hope that you can create that situation with yourself, and I hope that you improve, because you'll probably end up being a leader of someone else someday, giving performance reviews of your own and helping pour into somebody else and making them a better performer. Have fun and enjoy this time with your leader.
Congratulations! You've now completed How to Receive a Performance Review. It's now up to you to live out those lessons you've learned in today's course.